Hi, Karina here, your Lucid Living coach. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I am a healing arts astrologer, and I'm here to give you the Uranus and Gemini report. Yes, one of the outer planets, which is a 7-year cycle through each zodiac, is coming to a close in the sign of Taurus. Now, Taurus, for the last 7 years, the focus has been on unique and eccentric and different ways of creating value. And value is energy here on Earth. So it pertains to money and our sense of values and what we value as a collective. And it has been more of a Uranian type of value as cryptocurrency and Bitcoin has grown a lot in the last 7 years, and as well as how we seek pleasure in our physical body. So there's been a lot of eccentric and progressive ways of expressing our bodies as well as our identity and identifying as different sexes when we were born a completely different sex. So that Uranian energy is now switching over to Gemini. And Gemini is the planet of communication. So now this is going to be a futuristic and eccentric and weird and different way of communicating. And maybe in the past, we've communicated with phones or now cell phones, and we drive around in cars that are gas, and we know we have electric. But have you ever thought of what it might be like to live in a society with a flying car? Or if we didn't have to communicate with a device, but we can communicate telepathically, if you're not good at telepathy. Some people have it, some people don't. And I think that with the way that technology is growing, we will be experiencing very different ways of interacting, communicating with the world around us through AI and robotics, and technology is going to take such leaps and bounds within the next 7 years. I don't think we'll be able to recognize humanity at the extent that we do today. I think that Uranus in Gemini will be a jolt, an awakening to our systems, our bodies, our nervous systems. If you think about COVID and how it attacked the lungs, Gemini rules the lungs, and Gemini rules dichotomy and balance. It's kind of like anything that has two or a pair within the body, like our two hands, our arms, our lungs. And so maybe this also might have to do with something like that. Now, major transits like this is very jolting, especially with Uranus, because Uranus is the planet of unexpected change, shifts, shocks. It does rule like lightning. And Gemini is an air sign, and it's about intellect, okay? Not so much in the earthly, stable, fixed energy like we have been in. This is a mutable energy, and so it will be changing and shifting very quickly, and a lot of endings, a lot of we're not doing this anymore. And this would probably be the time where paper money might be the thing of the past. Now, Uranus enters into Gemini tomorrow, Monday, July 7th. And it will be here until for the next 7 years. And Uranus, the planet of rebellion and technology and awakening, enters this sign of communication and intellect and duality. Expect breakthroughs in technology, media, transportation. Flying cars is what I predict. AI, education, and how we think and talk. Social media, language, and even how we relate to truth. How can we prepare for this? Stay curious. Expect information to come in fast and out of nowhere, because Uranus rules the nervous system. You might feel a little more energy rolling through. You could have extra energy, extra mental energy, and at 0 degrees, it could be overwhelming. We could experience more anxiousness or anxiety or having a hard time staying put. We might feel like we need to be taking action and moving and progressing at very high speeds. But we want to really balance in this energy and drop into our body and our heart. Don't forget, there is an opposite to intellect. Practice discernment. Not everything you hear is true. This, because Uranus is bringing you out of this world type of information. We live in an information society, but we need to use our discernment and figure out what information is true and value for us in our life. Remember that we create our own reality through our thoughts and our beliefs. So make sure that your thoughts and your beliefs are aligned with you in the world that you want to create. Journal new ideas. We will be getting a lot of ideas, and AI, ChatGPT, technology is really going to help us with manifesting and creating more and new ideas and steps to get there. This is the start of a whole new intellectual mental cycle. Now, Uranus on Monday will also be applying to Venus in Gemini. It'll be what we call conjunct. They are merging their energies. So when Uranus, the planet of unexpected change, sudden shifts, or even just like a very like eccentric way of going about something, merging with the planet of love and beauty and money and value and partnerships, we might be feeling this shakeup in either our money, our values, what we deem as valuable in our life, our thoughts on our values, and what we consider beautiful or attractive or pleasurable. You might have sudden attractions to things that you didn't before, or unexpected breakthroughs, or breakthroughs in relationships, or breakups. There is a financial and creative insights that could come in very quickly like lightning. We could be loving the more eccentric and different than just the boring and stable with just this tiny transit. It will not last long because Venus is still moving forward. Uranus, the unexpected. So expect the unexpected in love and dating, friendships, art, beauty, self-expression. purchasing and investments or money matters. So you really want to be careful. With that, we have Mercury slowing down to its retrograde. It will be retrograde in Leo, which is my sign. Already feeling it, not looking forward to it. It will go retrograde around August 2nd and 1st. And actually, August 2nd is when I'm hosting the next paint and sip. So if you're local and you want to come join me at Revival Coffee in Crockett, we'll be doing that at 4 o'clock on Saturday, August 2nd. Can't wait. We're going to be painting sunflowers for this summer day. It's going to be so nice, and I'm looking forward to it. So if you would like to sign up, the earlier the better, because it's only $45 and that includes wine. So yay. Going to be fun. If you do not drink, that's fine. There is plenty of lattes, hot and cold drinks at the cafe that you can purchase. Now, how to prepare. We don't want to cling to things. We can't cling to things when we're in a mutable energy. We could have clinged to things while Uranus was in Taurus, but not in Gemini. We need to go with the flow. Use the creative bursts and the information and downloads that we're getting, but pause before big financial decisions at this time, because Uranus and Venus is just like, expect the unexpected. And if you don't want to be surprised by any financial moves that you're making, whether it's signing a contract, taking out a loan, a grant, whatever, then I expect you to very carefully read the small print. Read over and have someone else read over the contract before signing. And with Mercury retrograde in Leo starting August 2nd, it will be retrograde for 3 weeks, and then it has a pre and a post shadow. So right now we're in the pre-shadow. So we are not expressing ourselves maybe correctly, or we're not receiving information correctly. So just keep that in mind. Stay open to new ways of relating and expressing love. Not every relationship looks the same. So it is embracing the things that make the special connection between you and your partner unique and special to only you two. You will never get that same connection with everyone. So appreciate what you have and the connection that you share, and the just like the really like different and unique ways that we connect with our friendships and our lovers. Now, tomorrow the moon will be in Sagittarius. It's been in Scorpio the last couple days, which has been extremely exhausting, transformational, deep senses of emotion. And the moon in Sagittarius will be opposing this newly entered Uranus in Gemini conjunct Venus. The emotional moon seeks freedom and truth in Sagittarius. Venus and Uranus are busy bees, buzzing around, curious as can be, quick to connect and move on. Inner conflict we could be feeling between craving depth and needing space versus short-term stimulation and variety. So we want to be careful that we're just not bailing and skipping out the second something else seems better, because the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Themes around this opposition is emotional impulsivity, conflicting desires for freedom versus closeness, truth bombs, or oversharing. How can we prepare for this opposition? Don't overreact emotionally. Wait a few hours before responding. Watch for strong urges to run or detach emotionally. Breathe. Breathe first. breathe into the situation, breathe into your feelings, breathe into things before blurting it out. Because Gemini, Uranus and Gemini, we're going to want to blurt things out and be reactive and indecisive. Practice grounding. Go on nature walks. Maybe be around water or move your body. The other transit that's happening is Venus and Uranus will be trining over to Pluto and Aquarius. Now, this Uranus and Pluto trine will be there for a while, at least until Uranus moves past the 2-degree Aquarius, 3-degree Aquarius mark. Pluto is retrograde right now. And so it is really strong. And this trine is really creating this like profound transformation through love. Uh-oh. My neighbor just dropped something. That's so Uranus and Gemini. Moving too fast. Accidents. Head injuries. So this profound transformation is through love, could be through technology, collective power, creativity. And these trines bring ease. So there's power in aligning with authentic desires. Watch for magnetic connections, powerful downloads, and clarity about your deeper values. Ask, what am I ready to release that blocks me from true connection? Channel creativity into meaningful innovation and step into your power without controlling others. Now there's this Venus and Uranus is also sextile over to Saturn and Neptune in Aries. So sextiles are opportunities. This is about making real magic and tangible, real magic. Saturn in Aries grounds the vision, giving you the action to manifest and build the things in the physical world that you desire, while Neptune in Aries energizes the dream. It gets our creative juices flowing. We want to make sure that we are creating the reality that we wish to build in the physical world. And it all starts with a thought. Then comes an emotion, a feeling, and then comes material manifestation of the thought. Okay. So this is a moment to take those electric insights and build something real. Supportive for taking action on creative goals. Turning spiritual visions into strategies. Committing to your personal truth. So I challenge you to, during maybe Monday or this week, write a vision plan. Commit to a creative or spiritual practice and don't just daydream. Do something about it. Manifest and make those things real in your life. This day is like a cosmic crossroad where your higher mind gets a jolt and your heart gets a nudge. And the universe says, it's time to break free, align and create what's real for you. The affirmation you can say for this day is, I stay open to new connections, trust sudden insights, and anchor my truth with intention. Tomorrow is going to be one of those days that we will write in the books. We will remember this night, on Sunday night, into and through tomorrow. And the Uranus will be at 0 degrees until August 3rd. And it will switch to 1 degrees of Gemini, and Mercury will be retrograde. So Mercury is having to do with the Mercury retrograde in Leo is having to do with moving this Uranus and Gemini forward. But there's some things that we need to rethink and reassess before moving forward. I'm going to share the chart right here. So Mercury is going to go retrograde here in Leo on August 2nd. Uranus in Gemini will move to 1 degree, getting closer to Venus, and Venus will be around 3 degrees. So Venus is separating her conjunction with Uranus when August starts. And for Gemini, Leo is the 3rd house of communication. So the Mercury retrograde in Leo is reassessing what it is that we want to communicate to the world, what it is that we want to communicate to our relationships and our partners. What is it that we want to communicate to our resources and our values? What is it that we want to create and manifest? What are we thinking about when we think about our money or when we think about our relationships? And what needs to be adjusted in that? Sometimes not all our thoughts need entertaining. Sometimes it's our fears or insecurities or things that are coming up, unhealed wounding from the past that is coming up, and it is keeping us safe. And what happens if you don't deal with these things or recognize when you're doing it? You think that it is reality, and you create and start treating those around you like it is a reality when it's not. And you can create and manifest the same trauma and bullshit and truth in which that you believe. So if you don't believe that you are lovable, that you are a good person, or if you don't believe that you're worth settling down with in a relationship, you will continue to manifest that. So really watch what you are manifesting and telling yourself, okay? And this Mercury retrograde is going to have us rethink what is it that we want to create and what are we thinking about and how can we change our thoughts around what we want to create, and in matters of romance and matters of the heart, because that's what Leo is, and our creative projects. What is it that we need to adjust and whatever that we're creating or building? And it could be a project, it could be a relationship, it can be your thoughts and your patterns. And I'm going to say this is all I have for you. I don't want it to make it too long. If you are interested in learning a little bit about what was happening in the realms of communication and technology advancement from the last time Uranus was in Gemini in 1941 to 1948, stick around. So thanks so much for tuning in. And if you're feeling called to go deeper into your own natal birth chart, I truly understand the energies that are at play in your life and how this Uranus is really affecting you. I invite you to join my workshops. I'm hosting workshops virtually through Zoom. I have beginners workshop. So if you don't know a whole lot about astrology, you can sign up for that. And just keep your eyes out for the next dates and times for July, and jump on the Zoom with me and let me help you understand how to read your own natal birth chart and prepare for the energies as these kinds of transits happen. And if you're looking for a more personalized guidance. I also offer astrology readings and card readings to help you navigate love and purpose, career, and timing. And that could be found on my website at www.lucidlivingmovement.com. And if you'd like to book a session, just I'd love to work with you. Hit me up. And last but not least, I'm super excited. I'm hosting a paint and sip, Astro Paint and Sip, again, the first of the year. So don't miss out. It's going to be a fun one, going to be a big one. And you want to get your tickets soon, and you get a discount, an early discount if you get your ticket before July 20th. It's $45 and includes a little thing to sip on. And then if you do not drink a wine, you can purchase anything at the cafe. And there's coffees and teas and hot and cold drinks. And I'm super excited. So mark your calendars. It will be at Revival Coffee in Crockett at 4 o'clock on August 2nd. So I will see you there. Thanks everyone that comments or likes or shares. I appreciate you. And I look forward to seeing you on the next one. If you resonate with my content and you're not subscribed, click the subscribe button and the little bell notification so you don't miss another video. And I will see you next time. Peace out. Your Lucid Living Coach, Karina. Let's look at the last time that Uranus was in the sign of Gemini. This was 1941 to 1948. And I did a little research to find maybe what communication advancements had happened during that time. So there was a military communication innovations. Radar massively expanded during World War II. So it feels like we're in a World War III. So there was a lot of progression in technology post World War II. While it developed in the 1930s, by the 1941 and 45, it became critical for air and naval defenses, detecting aircraft and ships, encryption and code breaking. They had like this enigma machine used by the Nazi Germany's. I probably said that right. Enema. I don't know. Anyways, it was marked a turning point in cryptography and laid the groundwork for modern computing. Two-way radios became standard for military operations. Walkie-talkies were first developed in 1941 and 42. Then we had the radio was the dominant mass media, used heavily for both moral and propaganda. Post-war boom in mass media. So television became transitioning from experimental to commercial. So before 1941, TV was rare. July of 1941 was authorized the first commercial broadcast, which was NBC in New York. After the war, 1948, TV ownership and programming began to boom. Programming. That's what the televisions do, my friends. They program your mind. This is why I've never owned one. And they also have those little blinking lights that you can't really notice, but your brain, it makes it a zombie, makes it sleep, and it programs you. So in your face, they're saying, stay tuned for the programming, the next programming. And I definitely see it as a collective, me not ever having a television and subscribing to that news. Now, weekly illustrated magazines, Lifetime influenced public opinion. newsreels shown in cinemas and remained important until TV became dominant. So technology and computing advancements would be the birth of the digital computer, which is Z3 in 1941, world's most programmable digital computer built by Konrad Zuse in Germany. Then there was the ENIAC, developed in the US at a University of Pennsylvania, foundations of the internet networking. So as you can see, like when Uranus was in Gemini, television was in probably every home, and it grew fast. CB, walkie-talkies, a computer. Okay, so we are going to see the same thing, but in different ways, right? It's not going to be, oh, the new TV. No, it's going to be like we have a TV embedded in our brain or in our body, and we're watching it through our eyes, and no one else could see it type stuff. Like, did you guys see Megan 2? You don't think that they're programming our brains to be prepared for the new technology they're going to launch? You know? So if you haven't seen Megan 2, go see it. Nuclear technology, Manhattan Project in 1942 through 45. Advanced physics and engineering led to atomic bombs dropped in 1945, influencing global power dynamics and technology priorities. Nuclear research also advanced radioactive isotopes for medicine and industry. So this nuclear thing and all these wars are really probably going to take shape a bit, because Uranus in Gemini was World War II and post World War II. So jet engines. The first successful jet-powered flights occurred in early 1940s. And rocketry, space technology, V2 rockets developed by Nazi Germany in 1944 were first long-range guided missiles. After the war, Operations Paperclip brought German scientists to the US, jumpstarting the US space program. Microwaves and radar applications, post-war commercial uses of radar and microwave technology included air traffic control. And then the global impact, cultural shifts was Cold War communication strategies, emerged surveillance intelligence, and controlled messaging, and scientific collaboration began to globalize. And the transitioner was invented in 1947, though it wouldn't revolutionize computing until 1950s and 60s. So we have a lot to look forward to with this Uranus in Gemini. I'm gonna see, I'm really bad at dates and history and stuff. Who was the president in 1941 through 1948? What presidents? Oh, Roosevelt and Truman. Okay, so Roosevelt, for shits and giggles, let's see what sign he is. What was Franklin Roosevelt's birthday? He was born on January 30th. So we have a Leo and Leo rising. We have a Gemini with a Leo rising in office right now. And Uranus will be transiting his 11th house of networks and friendships and groups. And so he's going to be connecting a lot with very eccentric people that are creating these new technologies, AI, robotics, all that. Now, the President Roosevelt, he was an Aquarius. And I don't have his whole chart, but that's very interesting that we had a Aquarius, which was the ruler of Uranus. And now we have a Gemini, which Uranus is in Gemini. So we'll see these different energies play out, right? And then Harry Truman. What birthday? Oh, hold on. Harry Truman's birthday. And this guy was our president for the last 2 years of Uranus and Gemini. And he ended the World War II, I think, the beginning of the Cold War. May 8th. So he was a Taurus. So we had an Aquarius and a Taurus. And now we have a Gemini, and then the vice president is a Leo. So we have this air, fire, and the earth, air. And so things are going to play out a little differently, I believe. But yeah, very interesting. Fun to look that stuff up. And I'll be thinking about this a little more. So thanks for tuning in.